Hi everybody. Alright, we got a lot to get through, so let's get to it. So we're working on the back window. In the last video we put the roll bar on, we're happy, so we're working on the back window. First thing you have to do is you have to find the center line. So you start aligning this thing up and you use the clamps. So the window doesn't want to stay up. When you clamp it in place, it kind of scoots the back up. Basically it forces the ass to come up to the top of the fuselage in the back. So you have to clamp it and unclamp it and move it left and right until you have the same amount of overhang on both sides of the fuselage. At that point, you can be if it's perfect, then yes, then you can mark the center line. After you mark the center line, what you're going to do is you're going to do like I'm doing right here and cut two grooves, right? So the main bar that connects the roll bar to the back of the fuselage, which you can see behind my head to the right, that has two little channels that secure it to the top of the fuselage. So the window goes between the skin, but underneath the skin, but on top of that bar, right? So you need to cut two little channels out so that the aluminum slides in, and then the whole window can slide backwards, as such, right? And then clamp back into place. So with this in effect, so basically the way that these windows are made is that the length is good and the sides are good, but the front might not be perfectly square, right? Okay, so what do I mean by that? So you need to have the left and the right overhang be equal, right? Because you're going to be drilling around the edge of the entire thing, and you don't want to drill like right next to the edge. You want to have some space between the edge and your drill hole, especially since there's going to be countersinking. So you want to make sure that the left and right are basically placed in the center perfectly. The back of the window is relatively decently good. What I really mean is that the one area of like a little bit of variance is just that front edge. So when you cut the grooves in the back of this piece, what you actually wind up doing first, and I forgot to mention this, is that you will measure the amount of overhang because it basically comes too far forward, right? The window, it's too long. So what you do is you measure the least amount of overhang around the whole thing. So you're gonna go around the whole thing up to a certain point and say, okay, this is exactly how far this hangs out past this specific point, and it's a point on the roll bar. So they're gonna say, find out how far it is past the roll bar. Take the least amount there, right, and then make the grooves in the back that deep. Don't make them any deeper, because then you'll start shortening the bar up too much. You want it to be just right. So great, you do that. So once you've done that, and you've removed the last inch, which is what you just saw me doing for a couple minutes, is removing that protective cover, because you really got to get a good fit with it off. Once that's in place and you've cut those grooves, so now all you have to do is you're going to need to, after you drill, we'll go be sanding the excess, because like I said, the front's not exactly square. So all you've done is you've backed the piece of acrylic up by cutting those grooves to where it's perfectly flush at the shortest place. Now, I mean, these are really good windows. I only really had to wind up sanding about 6 inches of area. That was pretty much it. So that was pretty good. Okay, so protective covering's been pulled back. We're almost ready to go. Last thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to so I'm putting painter's tape on so that I can see exactly where this thing is supposed to be lined up. Plus, this does help with reverberations when you are drilling. Because you do not want to drill anything, right? This is the nervous time. So, here's my little thing that I learned a long time ago for drilling through plexiglass and acrylic and stuff like that. So what I'm doing here is I'm making a concoction. In that glass is vodka. Normally I would use rubbing alcohol, but ironically I was running out at the time, not knowing that a pandemic was about to bite me in the ass. So I use baking soda and basically high concentrated alcohol. Vodka will do, but rubbing alcohol is better. Actually, no, that's still rubbing alcohol. That's right, that was the rest of rubbing alcohol. So with that, it makes a great cutting solution. So you pour that over the area where you're supposed to be drilling, and I also dip the drill bit into it so that it has some, because the drill bit's very small, right? We're drilling with number 40s. So it's a very small drill bit, so basically, the solution will basically hold itself in place. Right? It's like how many drops of water can you fit on the head of a penny? A lot, right? Surface tension. So the surface tension keeps it inside the grooves of the drill bit, and it makes perfectly smooth holes. There is not one hole in my acrylic that's not just perfect. So. All right, so have a happy Saturday, everybody. Saturday, April 18th. And in fact, got a bonus video coming up for you next. So see you soon.